On today's show, sometimes the season is not all about winning and losing, but the Mavs did get a win, and I'll tell you why. It was important for them on today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
Dogs, all five. Explain yourself. All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
Still!
You are Locked On Mavs. Great, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for reading every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day and making the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network out there. Appreciate you for checking out the show. Joining me, as always, the postgame prodigy from the great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. What you got, Slightly Biased?
Hilarious early season basketball game.
That felt like a mid-March game to me.
It really did. It absolutely did.
Today's episode, we're going to get into that weird game. We'll talk about Cooper Flagg. I thought he bounced back really well. I thought that was they played him in a bunch of different positions, so we got some good stuff to talk about with him. We'll talk about Brandon Williams, obviously. The day after his arrest, Brandon Williams balling out here in the AAC, and then Dwight Powell, MVP chants. Just an incredible theater, incredible fan moment, incredible moment for Dwight Powell and the Mavs and all that. But I want to start here slightly because sometimes games are not about who wins and who loses. It's about who somebody else loses and who the team loses. And Anthony Davis was probable coming into this game with some kind of Achilles issue. And he starts the game, you're saying, okay, he plays. You're like, okay. And then he goes up for a shot. He comes down. He kind of lands a little awkwardly. He starts limping up the court. Then he takes himself out of the game. He sits down on the scorer's table, and then they call a timeout. He leaves the game. He's sitting there holding his Achilles, holding his leg, holding the front of his leg, all that. And then he goes back to the locker room. He's officially listed as questionable, and then they officially rule him out. He doesn't come back for the second half, and that's that. Anthony Davis just shows me how much this season his Mavs team is a house of cards. Like if Anthony Davis goes out, all of a sudden, all the things we said about the Mavericks, about how competitive they can be, about how they can be a playoff team, about how all these things, it all depends on him. And we've talked about him a lot. We've been hard on him at the beginning of the season a lot. But a lot of things depend on him. And if he's out for an extended period of time, that's a big thing for the Dallas Mavericks. But Jason Kidd said he wanted to come back in the game afterwards. And so slightly maybe he's going to be okay. And maybe they avoided a thing. AD does do the Luka boo-boo injuries that I used to talk about a lot, where it would look like Luka's season was over and then he would come back into the game or he'd be back the next game or whatever. AD does have some of those like that. He was already dealing with an Achilles issue, so I'm fine with them not risking it, especially against this Indiana team that they could have beat without him and did beating without him. And so I'm okay with them not risking it to come back. But it just, to me, showed how much of a house of cards this whole season is. And it didn't help that Lively and Gafford were both out too, and that was a big deal. But Anthony Davis' injury seems like they avoided a scare for now.
Yeah, I mean, it is. We're 5 games into the season, and there was already like Dwight Powell closing minutes. So
Dwight Powell, Jaden Hardy in the first quarter.
Yeah, but I mean, like Dwight Powell closing minutes because all of your other bigs are injured. Like that's where we're already at, and that kind of throws a wrench. Unless you're someone who's just like, oh, I don't care, I just want to tank the season and blow it up. But that kind of throws a wrench in the we got to trade one of these guys thing, because it's like, well, Dereck Lively now, guess what? I'm super concerned. Second game he's missed in a row with a knee sprain. Who knows what that means? Well, this team never gives us a timeline for any of this. This could be a multi-week thing. Like knee sprains are multi-week long injuries.
And it was a contusion, and then it turned into a sprain. So which was it? Did it become that? That's another thing that I'm just concerned about is we're never told anything correct, it seems like. Everything either changes, timelines lengthen, or, I mean, I don't know. It's insane.
Yeah, and I mean, this is somebody who's like barely played in half of the games of his career in the regular season. So I'm worried about D-Live for sure. And then also, is this the most like serious mild to low ankle sprain that we've ever seen?
At least for Gafford and for Lively, they both had shoes on during shoot-around today. They were both doubtful. I think they probably could have played. Like one of them could have played. I think Gaff could have played if it really came down to it. But he has been out over 5 weeks now.
I was about to say, this is a month-long, 2-week ankle injury.
Yeah, he was supposed to be out 3 to 4 weeks, and now this is over 5 weeks that he's been out. So
I thought it was 2 to 3.
I remember 3 to 4. I remember 2 to 4 maybe it was.
Okay.
Because I remember looking at 4 weeks and being 4 weeks was the start of the season.
Yeah,
So
that's true. I think you might be right.
but here we are, and you know what? They avoided that injury scare with AD, and so I'm just gonna hold on to it and say, all right, well maybe they avoided that, and let's hold on to the good things, the good feelings, because the rest of this is gonna be good feelings because the Mavericks had nothing. It seemed like it. The Mavericks offense has been struggling. The size that was supposed to be the Mavs' big strength was all gone with AD out of the game, with Lively, with Gafford out as well. They started to play Cooper Flagg at the 5. They played PJ at the 5. They obviously threw Dwight in there, and I guess I'll start with Dwight Powell because man. Dwight Powell, 18.6 boards, couple of blocks at the rim. His hustle immediately jumped off the charts to me, where you just saw him get in there. It was nice to see a center jump again. It was nice to see Dwight get in there and grab some loose balls and do things like that. He was a game changer in this one. It was wild to see Dwight Powell make such a big impact against this Pacers team, and it will say that the Pacers were super injured too, more injured than the Mavericks probably. In this one, it was basically Pascal Siakam, Aaron Nesmith, Ben Shepherd, and nobody else.
Honestly, I would argue that.
Well, with AD out, then yeah, the Mavs are more injured.
I was thinking the same thing, but then I was looking. I was like, well, the Mavs are missing like almost their two best players for sure now.
For sure.
And now your two other centers, like they're also dealing with a ton of injuries. So I want to say this real quick about AD. Like, I hope it's nothing serious. I hope he's back soon. I hope he avoided major injury. He didn't ask to come here. He didn't make the trade himself. I've seen some tweets and stuff. Like, it's a human being, man. Like, I know frustrations are high and everything, but like, I would say tone down a little tiny bit. Some of the stuff I see is just a little ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, Dwight Powell. It's a carryover from the preseason because he looked really good in the preseason. He did. Like, it was like, wow, Dwight Powell looks like great physically. Like, this is some of the best he's looked from just like an athletic standpoint in years.
But his was an Achilles forever, or is it an ACL? Because it's
Achilles.
Achilles. It was probably the springiest I've seen since his Achilles injury.
Yeah, and I mean, he gave some fantastic minutes tonight. Like, a single game plus minus can be really wonky. Like, Flagg was a -7 tonight, which was the worst
Weird.
on the team. Like, that doesn't pass the eye test whatsoever. But Dwight Powell being a +12
does
absolutely pass the eye test. I mean, he was great. Just gives him a bit of a different. He's just such a smart player. Like, he's in the right spot at the right times. He's a fantastic roll man, like roll guy, roll to the pick and roll guy.
Yeah,
and just makes good passes off of those short rolls. Just a good decision maker. You know, him being a fantastic pick and roll guy, like, predated Luka. Like, obviously, Luka got a lot out of him, a ton out of him. But this is who Dwight Powell's always been. So good to see. Obviously, hopefully these bigs come back so you don't need this from Dwight every night. Again, this was a very depleted Pacers team. But, I mean, Dwight Powell getting MVP chance at the free throw line. Like,
can we just ISO out this for a minute? Sometimes sports are just fun. Sometimes you just got to go to an arena and have a fun moment like that where you're chanting MVP for the 15th man on the roster who comes out and has a great game, who's been with the franchise longer than literally everybody in the organization, like not literally, but almost everybody in the organization, the owner, the GM, the coach, all the players on the team, and everybody else. He's been here longer. He's been here since Dwight Powell predates me covering this team. He was traded in 2013. I started covering the team in 2015. Dwight Powell predates so many of us that have been covering or around this team. Maybe some of you fans. There may be a fan listening. There have been fans that have come up that are younger than Dwight Powell's career with the Dallas Mavericks. That may be you at this point. And sometimes it's just fun to have an MVP moment where just anything in sports can happen. It's the reason why you play the games. You go out there, you roll the ball out so you can have some fun, see what happens. And maybe a Dwight Powell goes off for 18 in a game. That's incredible. And if I'm the Pacers, I'm devastated about this loss right now.
You think so? If I'm the Pacers,
no, they got their pick. They'll be all right. But
I'm about to say I'm in clear-cut tank mode at this point. But
for sure.
I mean, it seems like the most fun the fans have had since the trade, which is sad to say. But
the Cooper Flagg dunk over Mamukelashvili in the Raptors game was the most fun I've heard. But this is like the most silly fun for sure.
Yeah, this was more of the most like, man, whatever. We're here enjoying it. Like, that was more of a tension breaking. Like, we're finally gonna win a game. This was more just like a, we paid money to come here. Let's enjoy our experience to the most.
Oh, man. So, Dwight Powell, shout out to him. Shout out to Anthony Davis, hopefully avoiding the big injury scare, but we'll see in the coming days. The Mavs now have 2 days off, and they travel to Mexico City for a Saturday late game. That's like a 9 p.m. start. So, slightly get a nap in before on Saturday.
I won't be here.
Oh, you're out?
Yeah. I'm going to touch grass, believe it or not.
Mexican grass?
No, I wish. That'd be cool.
I thought about going too. So, but anyway, we'll have a post-game show for you there, and we'll see what Anthony Davis' status is for that game. I doubt he plays, but we'll see what happens. So coming up, let's talk about Cooper Flagg. The Mavs used him in different ways tonight. He showed some other stuff tonight, and there's one thing about his game that I'm excited about. I'll talk about that more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by our friends over at Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness in different ways. It's not just a cycle where you sit on there and you pedal. Their Peloton cross-training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ, is their most advanced equipment yet. You can do all kinds of things on it. Designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to move. Whether you're running, lifting, or cross-training with your favorite instructors, this is training reimagined in different kind of ways. It's built for breakthroughs with the tools to help you stay motivated, plan, and reach peak performance. Those are all the things that you want to do, right? You want to reach the peak of yourself. You want to plan because you got to have a plan or else you're just going to meander through life. I love how Peloton's IQ system offers real-time strength coaching. It actually tracks your reps, which is huge. I always forget reps. I'm like, was that 9 or 10? I don't know. Suggests the right weights and corrects your form, making every rep safer and smarter for you. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton cross-training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com. It's the word one, O-N-E, peloton.com.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. Shout out to everybody that I saw today. They gave me a fist bump and said Raccoon Squad. Still a hilarious thing to say to somebody in person. And if you come to a Mavericks game at any point, come to Section 103. I'm hanging out here, and we'll chat it up. And no, Slightly is not in the building, but someone did come up to me today and say, you know, I know Slightly is not here tonight, but I feel like he is here tonight in spirit. He's here.
I'm always there, lurking in the shadows.
I imagine you walking the catwalk, just like pacing back and forth, just like up there in the rafters, like walking the catwalk, just making sure it never leaks in this building again.
That would be hilarious.
I want to talk about Cooper Flagg. I want to talk about Cooper Flagg because I always want to talk about Cooper Flagg. But
that might be, we're probably only a month or two away from that being the only thing to talk about.
15 points, 10 rebounds, another double-double, 4 assists. He had a block. He only had 2 turnovers, 6 of 11 from the field, hit all 3 of his free throws, played 35 minutes, was in the closing lineup and all that. Made some good decisions, obviously. And you know what I was most excited about? I thought he played some really good defense on Pascal Siakam. And, like, that's the part of his game where if you want to go so far as to say Nico's vision, he wants these two-way guys. He wants guys that can defend on one end and can make plays on the other end. And I think we saw Cooper Flagg show some of that potential tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this was, in my opinion, from start to finish, and still some, rocky moments, 18 years old. Start to finish, one of the best Cooper Flagg game we've gotten. And it was the best. I think he's been good defensively every game he's played, really. But this was the best defensive game. I think this was where you saw the, okay, there's the all defense. There's the, hey, in a world where Victor Wembanyama doesn't exist, is there like a DPOY upside here? Because, he guarded
the 2 DPOY, the second best defensive player.
They might have to do that. They might have to make that an award. But, it was we saw the rim protection, the weak side rim protection, the times where they were small and he was the low man protecting the rim, guarding Pascal Siakam, a really difficult guy to guard and a difficult guy to guard without fouling. He did a great job. Rotating out the shooters. Guarded, no Halliburton, obviously, no Matherin, no Nembhard. So they're without their guard creators, but did a good job when he did get switched out onto guards. Had a really nice block on a Mac McClung drive where he recovered. It's that defensive upside you see where he's just all over the court. He feels like it almost feels like he's like a free safety or like a Luke Kuechly type where he's just kind of in the middle of the field and he can get anywhere at any given moment and affect the play. Like that's what it feels like watching him.
We couldn't do the cross racial. We had to do another white guy.
Fred Warner, I don't know. I'm
Brian Urlacher.
I'm not into football much.
Brian Dawkins.
I'm not a football guy, so But like Luke Kuechly's literally the only one.
Kuechly was the one name you pulled.
Well, because I feel like it's apt comparison because he was like a coverage guy, right? He was always moving around.
It is
Fred
for
Warner.
sure. It is for sure.
That 1 year of Jalen Smith.
Absolutely. And I don't think it was a coincidence. That it was because he was playing 4 and 5 a lot in this game. Right? We've talked about him playing out of position, and one of the things he's been playing out of position as is a defender. He's been defending all these ones and defending all these guards and running around, chasing guys around, and I think that's good for him to get reps and learn how to do, but he's better as like a rim protector, like roaming around kind of guy, and I thought that's what we saw from him. They did send a lot of help to Siakam. Like there was some times when like Max Christie or Naji would like run over and help him, but there were some times where he just stood up there and defended, like just straight up had some really good defense on Siakam, and I just thought that, like, I was really impressed. With 4:26 left in the game, Mavs are up by like 12 at that point. He had a really good moment where he had good D on Siakam where he was not doubled. It was just him standing him up, and PJ got the rebound, outletted to Max Christie, and had the finish, and then that's what actually put him up 12 at that point. But I was impressed by his defense and then the rebounding. And you want him rebounding because you want him to push the ball in transition. It's kind of the same like with Luka or Westbrook or any one of these guys. We're like, all right, we want you getting the rebound because we want you to push the ball up the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And I've just watched him. I watch him go up for rebounds and stuff. I think this guy's going to be so good. There's been so much talk about his game and stuff, but it's so important to emphasize this. And people say you're using it as an excuse. It's not. It's such important context, man. Like I was watching, VJ Edgecombe has been incredible. I've loved watching him play. I'm not saying this as a slide at all, but I was just thinking about this yesterday watching their game. VJ's 20 right now, and that's young. Like that's young for a rookie, 20 years old. Coop will be in his third year of his career when he's 20.
Towards the end of his rookie contract.
Yeah, like that's just insane to me how young this guy is. And again, I didn't mean that as like VJ is incredible. Like he's been awesome this year, and he's going to be an incredible player. Like I wasn't meaning this. I'm just trying to emphasize how young this guy is. And I mean, there's times where he looks like an 18-year-old, and he physically, right? Where it's just like I'm watching him rebound, and I'm just thinking, man, when this guy puts on muscle and weight,
right,
he's going to be a force down there. Like he's going to be. Because that's kind of, you compare him to Tatum all the time. Tatum's turned into an incredibly good rebounder. Mm-hmm. Like, not just for his position and stuff, but just in general. And I can see that type of, kind of similar to PJ, too. Like, PJ's filled out and become a big human being, and he's a very good rebounder. So, yeah, that's definitely something. He's already good at high pointing the ball and going after the ball and getting it. He's such a quick leaper. People have talked about that. He goes from just up on the ground to his high point so fast. And that helps him out rebounding wise. But yeah, I mean, really good game from him.
He's not like skinny. Like he's not coming in like Chet, or some of these others. But yeah, I keep thinking that every time I see him, and every time I see him like in traffic, or anytime I see him with like going up to grab a rebound with multiple guys down there, you just see how much as soon as he adds strength, it's going to be completely different. He's going to be able to do so many more things on the court when he's able to do that. Or even just like the PJ, we've been raving about how PJ just bumps guys in transition and can just go up and finish real strong. Well, you got to have a lot of muscle to do that, right? Michael Jordan needed to add a bunch of muscle in order to get to that point in his career. And so that's something I'm definitely looking forward to with Cooper Flagg. I just thought it was a really good game from him overall. Yeah. And like you said, maybe one of his best games that he's played so far. Definitely the most impactful on winning.
For sure. And I think it's important to point out, like, coming into this, we said this, he's probably not a guy, he might have a few games here and there his rookie year where there's high scoring outputs, but he's not coming into the league as a guy like that. It's going to be stuff like this, the Swiss Army knife type of player who can defend multiple different positions, block a shot, rotating down, grab a rebound, get up the floor, find an open shooter, or go right to the basket. So we saw that a bunch tonight, and that was the encouraging, that's the encouraging stuff.
Absolutely encouraged by it. And I was also encouraged by Brandon Williams, what I saw from him. Coming up, how did Brandon Williams, play so well in this game? Like, just completely blow our expectations. Talk about that more.
Austin Reeves game winner.
How many did he finish with?
I don't know, but he literally just hit a bunch of meter.
Oh my God, that team, insane. We'll talk about Brandon Williams coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by our friends over at Rippling. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but now the average company is buried with hundreds of apps, so many different things to slow down your teams, and they simply just don't work together. That's not SaaS. That's SAD. SAAD. Software as a disservice. Clever. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is a unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance all in one place. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. It's seriously simple to use. It gives companies one source of truth for their people, data, and everything that they touch. It's all in one thing. You'd rather have it all in one thing than try and sign into a bunch of different things. I know with the different things that I do, different platforms I work on and all this, you're signing into all kinds of different things all the time. All the two-factor authentication, I get it. You want it to be secure, but man, it'd be great to just log into one thing. Whether you want to run your entire HR, IT, and finance operations as one, or just fill the gaps in your software stack, Rippling can help you do it. So right now, you get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. That's Rippling, RIPPLING.com/LockedOnNBA. Rippling.com for 6 months free. Also brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day, locking in every opening, beating your PR, beating it again, channeling that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto, all in one platform. So now you can build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood's Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You can expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Slightly, let's talk about the rest of this game. Brandon Williams, just talk about a catalyst coming in. I was not sure what to expect from Brandon Williams this season because we saw some flashes last year where I go, oh yeah, that's an NBA player. That guy has earned a spot. He's deserved this contract that he got. Then he had a non-guaranteed contract. Then it was guaranteed, and you're like, okay, here we go. But Brandon Williams in this, and then yesterday, right, he gets arrested at the airport. And I was like, is he even going to play today? And then he was listed as questionable for personal reasons. He shows up at shoot-around, and then they say he's available for the game tonight. Like, what a whirlwind 24 hours Brandon Williams must have had personally. He issues an apology, takes full responsibility for everything. Standing there, he had weed in his bag going through the airport. Everybody's asking why he was at the airport. He had personal reasons. He was dealing with a death in the family, so I'm sure he was traveling to go do that. That's why he was out for personal reasons the last couple of games. And so then Brandon Williams in this game, the Mavs need guard help in any way they can possibly get. So he goes out, 20 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, and hits 9 of 14 shots. I was just impressed by the way he can just get into areas on the court that the Mavericks just have not been able to get into this season.
Yeah, first and foremost, couldn't care less about the weed thing at all. Don't care. People are asking me about it. Don't care. That's just my opinion.
No, to me, it just adds to the drama of today.
Yeah. I don't care. The lawsuit thing, I don't know enough, really. I'm not.
The lawsuit between the Mavs and the Stars, which to me is just, it seems like, if I'm just reading tea leaves, is just a way for the Mavs to either take over the AAC or for them to get out of the AAC contract a little earlier so that they can build their arena. But we'll see.
And the Stars want to move as well. And I think that should be kind of some important context from what I understand.
Right.
So I think it's $2 billion organizations that are trying to find any maneuverability. I don't know, the Stars $1 billion organization.
That's what I was like, are the Stars $1 billion?
I don't know the value of hockey teams. But anyways, Brandon Williams. He was so fun to watch. He was genuinely probably the only bright spot on the Mavs team last year, and just from a personnel standpoint. And he's just so quick. The Mavs don't really have. D'Lo's not even like this, really. D'Lo's more crafty and not shy. I would say that's D'Lo's number one trait currently. But B-Will is legitimately quick and gets downhill and puts pressure on the rim, and they just don't have another guy like that right now. So, he played some really good minutes tonight. And let's not forget, he missed all of training camp pretty much with an injury. So, I don't know how much those early season DNPs and low minutes was him just not being in the rotation or more of a byproduct of them trying to ramp him up a little bit. So, it's funny, the Dwight Powell in this, I saw some people were saying, I've seen this where it's the Mavs are supposed to have such great depth, and Brandon Williams and Dwight Powell are playing in Game 5, and it's that is the depth. That is.
They have 7 guys out. In their rotation. How many rotation players are out? AD, Kyrie, Lively, Gafford, add Exum in there too, probably. 5 rotation players.
We've joked about this on here. Where it's like Dwight Powell's probably like the best fourth. I mean, has to be the best fourth center in the league. Like I don't know the list of them, but he's got to be up there towards the very top. And Brandon Williams is just a really nice guard.
How many teams have a fourth center? That's like having a fourth quarterback or like a third quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. The Pacers.
J-Huff, Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah, depending on what you want to classify like Obi Toppin as, who's hurt right now, but.
That's not a 5. By the way, stars, I'm seeing anywhere between 1 and 1.9 billion. So, $1 billion. All
right, well, there you go.
There you go.
Well, I was saying it feels like a couple $1 billion organizations.
You're right. No, you're right.
Maneuver. But anyways, yeah, B-Will was great, and hopefully we see some more minutes from him. I mean, here's this trend, right? Here's this trend we've been talking about. Brandon Williams, they win his minutes tonight. Not a surprise, they won the game, but they also won the D'Angelo Russell minutes. And going into this game, this isn't updated yet, they have a plus 15 net rating when D'Lo plays.
Yeah.
Like plus 15.
To me, he just represents a point guard. You know, like when a point guard plays, they are better.
He was plus 5 tonight. Bebo was plus 3. Like, if he plus 15, it's super small sample, but their net rating when D'Lo's off the floor, and really he's, up until B-Will recently, has been like the only point guard to get minutes. Like the traditional point guard, you would say. Their net rating without D'Lo is minus 26. Like horrible.
It's not good.
So, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Like I'm just looking at these on-off numbers. It's such small sample, doesn't matter. But their defensive rating with D'Lo off is 124. That's horrible.
You see it every game. Like every game to start the game. We've been talking about these starts. Like what did the Mavs start in this one? They started down 14-21.
Well, I've got another culprit for that.
Does he have his own little boo-boo?
He's got his own little boo-boo. And his own shoes.
Klay started the game, step back 3, bad shot. Dribbling turnover and looked at his hands afterwards to try and figure out what was going on, and then got blocked at the rim. Like just play after play where you're just like, those are 3 like bad decisions. And it's so strange to watch a guy that is so smart and so accomplished in the game have moments like that where you're just like, what? You're trying to put the team on your back. Like, are you trying to put the team on your back right now? Like, you're playing.
The answer is yes.
But playing completely outside of himself to do that.
And now he's not even making 3. Like, it's this weird, tough situation to be in because you want him to play to find his rhythm and to hit these shots. And so far this season, he's not hitting his shots at all. And I mean, we're kind of at that point in Klay's career. It sucks. It is what it is. He's getting up there in age. He's had a couple of devastating, catastrophic lower body injuries. Like, he doesn't defend like he used to. So if he's not hitting shots, I don't know what he does. And then to compound those things, like, Christie's been fantastic, man.
So good.
Max Christie's been great. And it's been like what I was kind of hoping to see from Max Christie. That stretch we saw after the trade where he was like this kind of had the ball in his hands a bunch and was self-creating. That was cool. That's cool if he could tap into that from time to time. But this version where it's like he defends his you-know-what off and is knocking out threes. He went 1 of 4 tonight. But is also just making smart passes on drives and attacking closeouts. It's just been a really good role guy. Like, I don't know how much more you can afford these super slow starts to games.
How many minutes do you think Klay played in the second half? Started the second half, right?
So I see he played 22 minutes total. I'm going to guess 6.
7. Wait, did you say 6? 7? Did you say 7? 6? 7? Did you say 6 or 7?
I said 6 and then you said 7, but there was a pause in between there. I want to make that clear.
3 minutes, 30 seconds in the fourth quarter.
Wait, can I go back to this stat? Because this is crazy to me.
Sure.
And yeah, Klay's been bad. I mean, it is what it is. It's 5 games, and he's a notoriously slow starter, to be fair.
Also true. Some shooters are.
So I want to talk about okay. On-off numbers this early in the season mean nothing. Advanced stats are this early in the season mean nothing. This means something, though. D'Angelo Russell, when he's off the floor, the Mavs have a 124 defensive rating. When D'Lo's off. When D'Lo's on, not a good defensive player, really. They have a 99 defensive rating, which is very good.
Yeah,
now, why is that?
They're making baskets.
Exactly.
They're making baskets.
Exactly.
I feel like we're back to, what was it, 3 years ago, where Jason Kidd would be like, what's the best thing you guys can do to help anything on defense? Like, well, to make shots and our offense is going to help our defense. Like, okay, well, yeah.
Especially, too, when you're not a great three-point shooting team. Like, some of your three-point shots are legit turnovers.
Just or a good transition defense team. That's the thing they've been getting killed on. I was looking at synergy. It's the one thing that they're terrible at in is transition defense. It's the one area of the game where they're just really struggling right now. And so if you don't want transition points, either make buckets or you miss so that it's not as bad. So there's not live rebounds, like live rebound turnovers.
Well, I was looking at their transition defense stuff on cleaning the glass. I don't know if those numbers are different. But yeah, their transition defense hasn't been good. It's because of their turnovers. They've actually been one of the best live rebound transition teams, which doesn't pass the eye test much for me, but
No.
it is interesting though.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
This game brought a lot of things, right? It was wild to see all the different facets of the game. I loved the D'Angelo Russell, Max Christie, Naji, Flagg, and PJ lineup. There's that lineup just did something to me. Like that as a small ball look that you could just go to, gave you pretty much everything you want in a small ball lineup. Like these are the lineups when people in the past have been like, well, why don't they play a small ball lineup? It's like you can't play it unless you have two big oversized wings like that can defend and can rebound. And both Flagg and PJ can do those things. Naji can handle it too. Everybody on the court can handle it. There's just so many different facets of that. I loved that lineup. I thought that was great. They used that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great point because we did used to have those conversations where it was like, small ball doesn't mean just throw small guys on the floor. It means
Put all the point guards out there.
Yes, it means you have like versatile players who can guard up and do a bunch of different things. And yeah, that is Flagg and PJ. That's like a fun combination because I think Coop could be a 4 defensively right now, which is kind of saying a lot because you usually want that guy to be a little bit more muscly. But PJ is more than capable of being a small ball 5 in certain matchups, obviously.
And I thought we would never see it because they have 3 centers that all demand like 20 plus minutes.
Yeah,
between 35 and 20 minutes, and then they're all hurt.
Hey, if Lively's out on Saturday, I'm ringing the alarm bells. I'm just gonna say that.
Man, you'd think Mexico. You'd think they'd want to show out in Mexico.
I'm assuming Gafford's probably back, or else this is the craziest ankle sprain ever.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, listening every day. Go check out the QR code, the links in the description. The links in the description for different ways to follow the show as we lag out of this stream. Go check out Slightly Biased, great stream, happen all the time on his YouTube channel. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs. Peace out. Boom.
I hope this saves because I didn't record it.